Well, folks, welcome back to the Love and Life Outdoors channel. It's gonna be a little different video uh, tonight. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. I've dropped little hints in other videos about why I didn't get to hunt Ohio a couple years ago and didn't hunt around here. Um, just want to do a little video to tell you about my wife's accident and kind of what we've been um, doing for the last couple years, just so you get to know me better and know my wife Michelle and my son Hunter. Um, so I'll try to get through this. Um, Sometimes I get upset talking about it, but I uh, I can always stop record if I need to. Ain't that right? Anyway, August the 19th of 2024, my wife was on her way to her mother's house to help her with some cleaning, and there was a thunderstorm coming up. And make a long story short, my nephew Justin, he called me at work a little after 4, and he didn't have real good service, but from what he was telling me was Michelle had been in an accident, and he said that she was conscious, but she was still in the car, and they were trying to get her out, and that was all I really knew at the time. Um, so of course I immediately left work, headed to where it actually happened within sight of our house here. Um, um, and just to put it in perspective, she was driving a Volkswagen uh, Beetle, um, probably the worst car she could have been in, but she loved that little car, and me and her brother and her dad got it for one year, a few years back for Christmas. Surprised her with it, and it wasn't anything special. It wasn't like a new one or nothing, but anyway, she loved that car, and that's what she drove all the time, pretty much. Anyway, what had happened was, as she was going down the road, I guess a gust of wind caught a big oak tree, and it fell on her car as she was driving. I mean, she never even got her foot on the brakes, and it pinned her in the car pretty bad. I'll drop a picture of the car. Um, it took the fire department, rescue squad, the EMS. I mean, I can't say enough about all the people that were helping. Sheriff's department, state troopers, um, all on the scene when I got there. It took me what's normally a 40-minute drive. It took me 30 minutes, and I called her brother on the way, and told him, and he got there about the same time, and she was still in the car, and they were trying to get her out of the car. Um, it actually ended up taking them over an hour and a half to get her extracted from the car, and uh, it took her straight on to Baptist, and that was the beginning of a long night. Um, she had, I guess, from the impact, she had severe whiplash, and she's she suffered a C4, 5, 6 vertebrae um, misalignment. Um, I won't get into all the technicalities of it, but she was basically paralyzed from her chest down. Um, and they tried to put her in traction at Baptist, and she went into surgery that night to get everything back in line, and then it was just a waiting game to see what would happen. She also, when the tree fell, it mashed her legs in the car. That's why they couldn't get her out. And uh, I think the airbags blew up after the impact, and she had severe burns on both her thighs and her left arm. Her left wrist was broke, and she had one of her fingers on her left hand was broke. Other than that, she had one little scratch on her. I mean, I mean, you see the picture of the car. It's just a miracle that she's alive. But anyway, I won't bore you with all the details. Like I said, that started she was in ICU at Baptist for 2 weeks, and then they moved her to the burn unit for I can't remember how long. My days kind of ran together then. And then she was going to be transferred to Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia for rehab. And everything everybody told me about Shepherd Center, that's the best place she could go, and it was a really good facility. But after we were there for a few days, I realized that you know it wasn't we weren't there for miracles. Um, they were their main objective was to teach you how to live with the disabilities that you have now. If you made progress and things happened, that was great. But their main objective was to teach you how to not only teach her, but teach me what to do to be her caregiver, and they were amazing. We got there on October, I think it was October 1st. I should have wrote these dates down before I started, but we got there on October 1st, and she was there until January 7th, and we got to bring her home. And while she was in Atlanta, I would stay with her um, during the week, pretty much every week, and I would come home on the weekends and go to church, and play in our praise band at our church, and try to work on the house because we had to do a lot of renovations to the house to accommodate her being in a wheelchair. We closed our garage in and turned it into a big bedroom with a bath. And I'm not going to name names of all the people that helped. Um, you know who you are, and you know you're amazing. And like I said, I'm not going to name names because I'll leave somebody out, and I don't want to do that. But everybody knows, family, friends, community. I I, I can't say enough. Um, it was it's overwhelming sometimes to think about it. We spent Thanksgiving, or we spent Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all at Shepherd Center in Atlanta. Um, all her family came down, and I mean we just had Christmas right there. And another another bad thing that happened um, during all this was Michelle's father, Roger. He uh, he had cancer, and we lost him during this while we was in Atlanta. And Michelle, we tried to figure out a way to try to get her home for the funeral, and there was just no way to do it. And but he's in a better place now, and but like I said, I would come home on weekends. We'd work on the house. Toward the end, there was a couple weeks down at Shepherd Center. They actually had an apartment that I could stay in. I mean, it was like they had a full kitchen, bath, everything. And toward the end, Michelle's mother, Judy, she would come down some, and um, I think my sister-in-law, Valerie, stayed some, and because we were trying to get the house ready for her to come home on the 7th of January. So they would those there was a week or two there that I actually stayed home and worked. Um, and I have to talk about my work. I work for Mount Tabor United Methodist Church, and they were they were so good to me. They 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 told me to take as much time as I needed, and my job would be there when I got back. And that was a huge thing to be able to be with her all the time while she was going through this. And I can never thank Mount Tabor enough. Um, moving on, we got to bring her home on January 7th. And my nephew, he and along with the church, he put together a homecoming at our church. I'm trying to get through this. I'm sorry. Um, and I'll throw that video in here um, of them welcoming her home.
What's going on? Is the church on fire? This is really a lot. It's a lot.
Is that Mama?
Hey, hey. Hey, baby. Hey, hey. Hey. You jumped out or he loves to ride.
We got home, and it's even after we got home, she's had like I said, I should have wrote some of this stuff down, but I'm just not that way. I'm kind of off the cuff when I talk, but um, she's had 2 or 3 surgeries since we've got home. Um, trying to give her some mobility. She can move her arms. She can move her wrists. Um, she can raise her arms over her head. She just can't move her fingers. And she's had a couple surgeries to try to give her some mobility in her thumbs. They move tendons to different muscles that are working, and um, we've had some success with that. She's doing pretty good with that. But overall, I think through the whole ordeal, I think if we counted it up right, she ended up having 17 different surgeries. A lot of them was for burns and grafting skin, and um, but through it all, she's been a trooper. Um, I can't imagine what it's like for her. I could not imagine not being able to move. Um, but she's since we've been home, like I said, we got home January 7th, and she went back to work pretty much full time, working from home, of course, doing computer and phone work um, on March 31st. Um, and has not slowed down one single day since she started back. Um, she's just amazing. Um, I wish I had half the work ethic she does. I'd also like to brag on my son Hunter. That youngin really stepped up, um, helping take care of his mama. And I can't talk too much about that. I get upset about it, but he uh he's really grown up, and I'm proud. I'm super proud of him for how he helps take care of his mama, and still go. I mean, he still finished his got his associate's degree, and was trying to work also until he hurt his back. And anyway, it won't get into all that, but he's a he's a pretty good kid, even if he is mine. Um, I'd also I want to say again, the outpouring of support that we got from people, and still do today. Um, there's people that send Michelle cards every week, even now, and it's just amazing. You see all this bad stuff on the news, and I don't even watch the news anymore. You see it on Facebook. You think the world's just going crazy, but something like this, it's small town communities and family it's a real thing. You know, people talk about this is the new normal, and I'm not trying to offend anybody when I say this, but I can't stand to hear that because there is no normal now. Nothing's like it used to be. But that being said, uh, we're all still here. We're all kicking and still surviving, and we'll do what we have to do to to make it work. And that's what we do. You know, I mean, I'm not patting myself on the back at all, and I hope nobody thinks that. Um, I couldn't have done I couldn't have done all this without family and friends. Um, and like again, they all know who I'm talking about. One thing I'd like to throw out there for you is don't ever take for granted what you have, um, because you can lose it just like that. Um, when we were at Shepherd Center, you know, Michelle, you see these young kids that were Hunter's age down there that were paralyzed, and Michelle, she'd just start crying, and I'd say, "What are you crying for?" And she said, "I'm just glad it's me and not Hunter." And like I said, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Um, so, and I'm a Christian, but I'm not a preacher, and I'm not good with words, but I do know that you better be right with the man upstairs because you never know when your time's coming. Um, I will maybe someday. Michelle don't like to get on camera much, but or she don't like to get on camera at all. But um, maybe one day we'll get her on the video, and maybe she'll have something to say. And I didn't do this video for sympathy or anything like that. I just wanted people, anybody that watched my video, you know, my videos, that they knew who they were watching and what I'm about. And you know, I do want to give a little shout out to my hunting buddies, Josh, Talbert, Todd. Um, the fall of 24, when I couldn't go to Ohio, they were at deer camp where I would have normally been. They texted me and they kept me in the loop, made me feel like, you know, I was there with them, and I really appreciate that. Got me through some tough nights. Um, my buddy Caleb over at Buffalo Creek Outdoors. I mean, he he's always got encouraging words for me too. No, I appreciate that from him. Um, I guess this probably drug on long enough, but I hope I hadn't forgot anything. It's hard for me to sit down and talk like this. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not a talker, and it in fact, when I started this YouTube channel and started talking on camera, people were just stunned that I was doing it, and they think it's real funny, and it probably is. I kind of get a kick out of it myself, so I keep doing it. Um, we had some T-shirts made up uh, after the accident. Uh, some of you may have seen them around. Um, they were called Michelle's Mission because she felt like the reason that God spared her was that He wasn't done with her yet, and she still had a mission for Him. She has even started teaching Sunday school at church. And anybody that knows her knows she would have never done that before. Um, but she does it now, and I mean, she really takes it serious, and she really studies and puts together a great lesson when it's her Sunday. She don't teach every Sunday, but when it's her Sunday to teach, she really puts her heart and soul into it and does a great job at it. Of course, she always thinks she don't, but I I just can't say enough good things about her. I love her, and I wouldn't want to be without her. So the 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 church, our church, also uh, Holly Springs Baptist Church, church where we got married at. They had prayer vigils on Wednesday nights for Michelle, and this kind of goes along with the Michelle's mission thing. My brother-in-law, he would tell me about seeing people at those prayer vigils that hadn't been in church in years, and they were there for that. And my church, New Union, they had a prayer vigil, or more than one. I think I can't keep up with everything, but I guess I'll wrap this up now. I said that a minute ago, but we'll try it again. Come back for more videos. Got some more things coming up. Like I said, I know this video is different. This video is probably going to end up being too long. Um, I'll see what I can do in the editing, but I just wanted everybody to know about us, about about Michelle, and I hope everybody has had a great day, and hope everybody has a great week, and God bless, and remember to subscribe for more content. Drop me a comment. I hadn't been getting very many comments, but I try to reply back if you can, and if you like these videos, and like I said, I know this was different, but if you like these videos, come back and for the next one. There again, God bless.